Hello and welcome our dear viewers to another episode of your show Hobbies Catalog. For today's episode we have a unique and special hobby, which is the ultimate frisbee. And our special guest, Lujane, she will tell us everything we need to know about this sport and her hobby. And now, without further ado, let's begin. Welcome back, our dear viewers. As right now we have our special guest, Lujane Al Mulla. How are you, Lujane?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, all good. Thank you for being here with us at the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Your hobby is frisbee, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
It's called ultimate frisbee.
Yes, officially the sport is called ultimate or ultimate frisbee.
And since when you've been practicing your hobby?
I've been playing ultimate for about 5 years now, but on a more serious level for the past 2 years, I'd say.
For the past 2 years?
On a more serious level, yes.
On the most like competing
yes,
and
I started
competitions.
competing then.
And how does that feel when you since that's like you always spend like almost 3 years maybe training and learning about it and trying to improve your skills, and since that you got into the competitions in the hard way, how do you felt at the first competition?
So the very first competition I played was the Middle East North Africa Championships. That was in Jordan in 2021. I was extremely nervous. I do have to say.
2021. That's in January.
That was November 2021.
Oh, November. Yeah. Okay. After the lockdowns and after.
Yes, it was
COVID.
right after. Correct.
Yeah.
And my first experience was terrifying. The first pole of the game, I think I, probably, wanted to. I was shaking a lot, and
it wasn't good, maybe.
No, I even felt like the nerves obviously affected the way I played as well. But since then, I've been playing in many tournaments, and I've become so much more confident. So I'm very different from the player that played in that tournament in 2021.
Okay, I'm curious about something, really, which is you chose the frisbee. The frisbee sport is actually it's a type of sports, by the way, and maybe our viewers don't know that.
Yeah, it's a team sport, which many people don't know.
Team sports also?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you about that, but first is why did you choose the frisbee as your hobby and your sport?
I was playing tennis at the time before I played frisbee, and it was a little late for me to pick up a sport like tennis because it's one of those sports you have to start playing when you're very young to really start competing.
To start competing when you are 30 or like 25,
right.
27.
So I would play for fun, but then when I found frisbee, I found that I could start competing. It's a very inclusive sport. You can compete at any age. There's even championships that are made for people who are 50 and above. So it's one of those sports that are timeless, I guess you can say. So that's what really attracted me.
That's a good thing. That adds more flexibility to the sport, and so it's available for a lot of people that can use it, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
And as you said from before, it's a team sport.
Yes, it's a team sport.
How can we play it as a team? Like maybe pass it to each other?
Yes, it's a 7x7 sport.
Yes.
Same way you might play football or basketball. The field is as big as about a football field with end zones, the way American football or rugby has end zones at the end.
Yeah.
So the way you would score is you would have to catch the disc beyond the end zone line, and that would be a point. Beyond that, you're passing to your teammates. If you have the disc in your hand, you can't move. You can only pivot around one leg like you might do in basketball. And that's the main gist of the game.
That's a good thing. So it's more fun when you actually there's too many sports that people are playing it because it's fun, and that's a good thing for that. And so you started competing and joining competitions in since 2021, which is like 2 years. And how is the family support with that when you told them that you want to go to Jordan for the first time to join a competition?
They were, I think, surprised, or I don't think they maybe understood that it was a big deal, especially in the world of ultimate. It wasn't until I came back and started showing them pictures and videos that they realized that this sport is actually a serious sport.
Yeah, and at first when they saw you playing it and practicing it, they thought, okay, it's maybe just a thing that people do.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal like the other sports.
Right. A lot of people think you just throw a frisbee to a dog at the beach and that's it.
Yeah, or the park and you just play it. They didn't know that there is a sport, full sport, and there's competitions, there's medals you can win, some things, a legacy you can build.
It's highly competitive sport.
Okay, and how is the legacy with Lujan?
I don't know if there's a legacy.
There is a legacy. There's 2 years of joining competitions. How many competitions you joined until now?
I don't know, a handful, maybe 5 so far.
4 or 5, that's a good thing in 2 years. So if I wanted to come to Lujan after 10 years or 30 years, you would tell me that there's more than 100 competitions.
I hope so. I don't know if I will have it in me in 10 years, but I hope so.
And we will see.
Yeah.
Lujan as one of maybe the best in the world, GCC countries, Kuwait.
In Kuwait, yes, I am, because I'm pretty much the only Kuwaiti woman who plays the sport. So
seriously.
So there's not much competition.
I didn't know that before the interview, and that's one of the best thing actually, because I didn't know that you are the only woman until now. So as far as you know,
competing consistently. I'm the only Kuwaiti, but in Kuwait we do have a community of women, of expats living in Kuwait, residents here who play the sport as well.
But when you compete in Jordan,
yeah, so I play with I was the only Kuwaiti woman.
Kuwaiti woman, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And that's a good thing. So you are rising our country's name, and that's a good thing.
I'm hoping to get more Kuwaiti women to join the sport. I really think that
it's on your hands.
Yeah,
you can raise the awareness and build a whole community with that.
I'm trying.
A whole federation, maybe, if you want.
Hopefully one day. Why not?
You can do it. And because I believe that we've seen too many sports that no one knows about it, like the pentathlon, like too many sports, and we've seen federations and communities being built year by year. Like the pentathlon, it's been built like almost the last year. So maybe the ultimate frisbee for Kuwaiti women, we can see it. And who's the head of that community? Maybe we'll also read the name of Lujan.
This is one of the goals I have. I've started women's only training at the Gulf University for Science and Technology that's open to any woman who'd like to join, Kuwaiti, non-Kuwaiti, any age. So yeah, if anyone would like to get in touch with me and wants to join this training, it's free of charge and it's lots of fun.
Productive. This is what it means when you are a productive person to the community. It doesn't mean like you are financially making money or something. It's actually, that means you are doing something for the community, and thank you for that, Lujan. And also, as we said, how is the family support after when you show them the pictures? Are they becoming supportive more?
Yes, I mean, any Kuwaiti family has its reservations, but in general, I have not had issues, competing or being able to practice my sport as much as I like, which I am. And so in terms of my family support, my family are supportive, yes.
Who's the biggest supportive? Family, friends, and that circle to the people who knows you? Who's your biggest supportive?
I think friends, because they do come to my games and
give us a name.
A name?
Yes,
of a friend.
A name.
There's my friend Noura. Noura's been extremely supportive. She's actually been training me as well.
Yes, and I just wanted to say to Noura that thank you for supporting Lujan in her sport, and I wish that we support you even more and more. And in the matter of talking about the family support, it's a good thing that you have your friends that supporting you more and more, which is a good thing.
Yes.
And of course you have, as you said from before, it's actually a team, 7 players,
yes.
Team game.
7 versus 7.
And of course you had your friends from the frisbee.
Yes, I've made a lot of friends from the sport.
And that's a good thing also. Do you maybe go and join a competitions together?
Absolutely, yes. We're a team.
Here or maybe in another country?
Yes, we actually just traveled to Saudi Arabia for the Middle East North Africa Championships in November. We participated in that championship and we won out of...
2022, November.
This was in November, yes. So
That's
out
a good thing.
of 16 teams, Kuwait won that championship. So that was something we were very proud of.
When you went to the Saudi Arabia and you won
yes.
with your team,
yes.
it was counted as the Kuwait national team?
No, That's the thing.
Just your team, because I don't think we have a national team.
No, unfortunately, the sport is not yet recognized by the Ministry of Sports here in Kuwait. It's something we've been trying to work on, but because it's a mixed division team, and in the Middle East we only have mixed division teams, so it's been very difficult to put together a national team. As I told you, I'm the only female Kuwaiti who plays the sport to begin with, so to put a team together that's all female has been a challenge, and so far that's the only way we can try to get the recognition of the Ministry of Youth.
And also, do we have like a male Kuwaiti team, national team?
No.
So also I wanted to ask you about the difficulties that you have been facing
Yes.
On your journey since an ultimate frisbee player. You are one of the difficulties, which is of course trying to make it being recognized
Yes.
by the Minister of Sports.
Yes.
Do you have any other difficulties, Lujane?
Other difficulties we face is finding fields where we can train, appropriate fields. We need to train on grass, which has been almost impossible to get an affordable field to train on. So we've been training on AstroTurf fields, and a lot of the AstroTurf fields here in Kuwait are not up to like the standard,
the best environment,
the
for
required
frisbee.
standard.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's another difficulty we face. And you know, on top of that, as I mentioned, we're trying to recruit more people to be involved in the sport. Just trying to reach a wider audience has been a challenge. And then finally, just finding sponsors. As I told you, since the Ministry of Sports doesn't recognize the sports yet, we don't have much financial aid or even just
Or sponsors for maybe joining the competitions or being
exactly.
or to travel. So you like
Right.
going to Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely.
You need someone who maybe sponsoring you
Absolutely.
for the finance.
Yeah, I
also.
mean, besides that, Kuwait has now gotten into one of the biggest tournaments in the world in Amsterdam in June. Our team is playing in that competition. There's 80 teams from around the world, and it's really expensive to be able to participate. A lot of our team players, as I said, are expats as well, and so it's really difficult to try to support ourselves and also play the sport. So we've been trying to attract the attention of sponsors. We haven't always been successful, so that's something that we're really aiming to try to secure.
So, Lujane, I wanted to ask you about Ramadan. Since it's Ramadan right now, where do you practice it, or not where? When do you practice your hobby, the frisbee?
So for the past couple of years, we've been practicing right before sunset. So we would practice about an hour and a half. Usually we practice for 2
Before
hours.
the iftar?
Yes.
But was that maybe a problem to being dehydrated?
It can be challenging, especially at the beginning, but you kind of get used to it. And then as soon as we're done with training, then it's sunset and it's time to break our fast. So we time it so that it's easier for us to immediately break our fast right after.
So, Lujane, I wanted to ask you for one last thing, which is, can you give the people an advice about how to combine between their hobby, their responsibilities?
Well, my advice is to just be consistent. I think if anyone loves a hobby enough, they will find the time for it. It's not easy. Yes, I do have a job. I have, my family. I have other responsibilities, but I always try to make time for frisbee because it makes me happy. If I'm stressed out, if I'm in a bad mood, I know that if I go to training, I'm immediately going to feel better. So I always try to make time for, both not just my physical health, but my mental health as well through frisbee.
Thank you, Lujane. It was a wonderful interview. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that I will hear that you joined in Amsterdam and come back as winners and champions. For
Thank
our
you so
country.
much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you, our viewers, for watching this episode. Hope you liked it and enjoyed it, and see you in our next episodes.